Hi, I'm Brenda Power, medicine woman, and I am live. We are making sure that we go live in a couple places. And what am I doing? Well, Spirit told me I need to get out there, communicate, help as many people as I possibly can, but not in the sense of just your normal helping. Not sure exactly what I do completely different, except for I give you options. I give you a chance to realize that your life is hell. Here's some tools. Little things. Little things mean a lot. Now, up above, you can tell I'm going to give a free card today. I'll give a free pendulum reading if that's what you want, a card or a pendulum. Maybe a combination of both, but if you want longer than one card and longer than the quick little read, then there are options. There is always options. So as I'm beginning to see how my camera is adjusting, it's kind of interesting to run 3 cameras at once. Tuning in to whatever needs to be done. Okay, so we have possibility of someone that doesn't feel well. And I'm just going to talk about this. Why would you need me when you're sick? Why would you need me when you are lonely? Why would you need me if you have a killer headache? Why would you need me? Well, it's an option to turn to something, to someone that could have answers. We're so used to being a quick society that's about... Amy, can you do a testing on my voice from the page real quick, the Tarot Astrology Manifesting Group? I need to do volume check.
Find you there.
Huh?
Trying to find you on there.
Okay, well, hopefully it'll show up. And the only reason I'm saying that is because the volume control. It was booming earlier, and so I turned it down and I forgot to adjust it. Hopefully people are picking me up and sound is okay. So we'll do a sound check wherever it is. Hi, Robin. Hi, Danny. Now, Danny, I noticed that you had life. Okay, so the more stressful your life is, the more you're going to have physical ailments. We have a pineal, a pituitary, and a hypothalamus. And these points on the head have everything to do with an axis. This is your stress axis. And when your stress axis has been trained to be disrupted all the time, you will always stay in a sympathetic, you think that's good. No, it's not, which is a stress response. And you won't be able to switch back over so that the body can begin to repair itself. The parasympathetic is about switching back over. Why would you need me? Well, you don't ever need me. You got to want me. You got to want to not want to be in this. You need to understand your life. Life is giving you quite hell there, Danny. And, your soul has set a lot of challenges in your life right now. Hello, Robin. And there's a lot of challenges that are going on in your life. Everybody has challenges. It's not a competition anymore. It's not about, somebody says to me, oh my God, why am I always doing this? And I says, well, you have to find out what love isn't to find out what love is. So you already knew what love is, but it's like you don't know how to appreciate a light bulb when it's so dark. You're like, it's dark, it's dark, it's dark. You turn that light on, what's going to happen? The light and the dark marriage and create shadows, contrast. And when you begin to take shape in what you want in life, you've got to be responsible for how you see it, how you project it, understand your inner world, and all of this. Okay. So, Danny, I want you to think about it a little bit, and we may go ahead and do a healing if you'd call in, but we'll just wait a second. I see a David Jonathan. Hi, I'm new here. Just wondering if I could help. You could help me help my father-in-law just got diagnosed, I'm sorry, I can't quite see, with a pancreatic cancer and was wondering if he might pull through. Okay, so as the people that have to stand back and witness the person that you dearly love go through such a traumatic event, such shock that comes to you, as well as the person that's, say, what? I've got what? It's a wake-up call to some degree. The pancreas is telling a story. It usually means that there's some type of love loss, some type of loss of love, some type of, it's just a shock. Well, first of all, I would have this person heal the shock. I would have them get insight about why life and how their body's responding to life and the experience. And I also need to have you understand that there's variables above everybody's head that has to tell them that these are choices. These are going into the quantum field of choices. And we'll usually go in and say, well, I'll take what I already know on my program, running to the end of my timeline, things I've done yesterday. This is the stuff I know. This is my routine. And when we are aging, chronologically aging, our soul goes, hey, have you got the wisdom of this? Or have you done this? Or have you let go of that? And if you don't, then you get what's called a bitch slap. And cancer is a bitch slap. It is in a conflict. It is a towards and away from. You want to go towards something, but you want to run away from something. For instance, I want to be, an example, okay, I want to be famous, but I also want to run away from those that could harm me. So what is written in the GPS inside of you, which is what will lead. And right now it is a program of 50-50. So if I read why the pancreas cancer came into play, is that you have to look at it. Is he a person that carries great anxiety? And has he always done so? Has he had been wishy-washy? You know, you look at these little things, and does he have sluggish memory? Now, if I look at what was tripped this to be located where it is, and they say that his body is about being very self-conscious, you know, what do other people think? How do I look? And it's a habitual fear. Why would any of those cause your body to be sick? It has everything to do with it, because it's about the experience. It's about your relationship with emotions, about your thoughts. Thoughts become things. So if you fear for everything every day, your body creates the same amount of chemical peptides, and eventually your body knows you better than you know yourself. And when that happens, you lose power. You lose life force that keeps this body healthy. Okay, so your simple question, you know, will he pull through? This will be always on everybody's mind. There is not a toe tag on this man yet. How he begins to laugh more, his thinking from negative to positive. And I don't want him just to be positive and have a negative stance inside. You know, fake smiles. I want him to be able to heal those feelings. Those feelings, those very, very specific feelings that he has, that he's under pressure, that he's distressed all the time, and he feels a lack of power. He can look at his life and he can see those things. Now, he can do, and there's always this, yes, he can live. The variables, yes, he can live. There's, you know, has he taken, and is the doorway to death, has that appeared yet? No, it has not. He has so many chances of pulling through, but it's got to be his belief, the way he feels, the way he thinks, that will pull him through. If he doesn't, you know, change a few things, heal a few trapped emotions, then he's going to do the same thing he did yesterday. He's going to do the same thing he did the day before. This is why they tell you diet, exercise. But I'm telling you, it's about emotions, thoughts, and beliefs. And it's so important to dive in and to a world of, oh my God, I need to get this shit out. Now, when I'm helping people get through a major issue, if the person itself came to me and had cancer, came to me, we would do a protocol of how to pull it out. Because it's you are watching someone you love. You need to heal yourself as far as the pain and suffering of what you're watching. Because it's important to understand that the soul is not human. The soul is that spirit part of you, and it's recording life and your contract of what you want to experience and what you don't want to experience. So we have to come to terms of respecting of where that soul is. Now, I know what great shock it is. I've been there several times with people. It's not fun. It's not healthy. It's scary as F. But be there. Talk to them. Help them, put laughter on. I know that it's hard. They want to be alone. I know that. Now, I'm going to tell you that to help them pull up out of shock, because 80% of your blood that's in your forebrain go into fight, flight, freeze. And we don't want him to stay there. We don't want you to stay there. So I would tell you, if you could put your hand, start with up here and begin to notice that, oh my God, and you keep your hand there long enough, the blood is going to come back up to your forebrain. And this is where you create reality. Your thoughts begin to calm down, your emotions calm down, and you stay there until you feel clear. And then spirit will help you help somebody else. People, when they're laying there, I'll do hope therapy, but I'll hold a certain point. But just having your hand on their forehead. So I will put my hand on like my husband or my kids or whatever, and just talk to them and say, talk to me. I know you're thinking, talk to me. This is a platform to scream, holler, do whatever you need to do. And you want to stop them, and you're holding their head, and you want them to stop them to repeating, because their brain is trying to figure out how to cope, handle, deal, and pacify with life. It's trying to figure out how to take that next step. It doesn't quite know. It wants its world to make sense again, and this is one of the things that helps is the blood comes back up, and hold on. Amy, you might have to mute. You might have to mute the mic. Anyway, so it's very important to understand that you can do something. Be there for yourself using a healing tool. And if you can, because see, even if you put laughter on and you do your best to help them change the world, it falls down to their belief system. And the power of suggestion is so strong at this point because the brain waves will be at a certain point. And you don't want negative people to come in and just say negative stuff. Okay? If he really wants out of it, there is several things they can do. I mean, Dr. Dispenza holds places, sessions and group sessions where they teach you how to breathe. They teach you how to move the energy. They teach you how to get the body and the mind. And then once you get, and it takes a while, but that's dedication of wanting to change your life, So he has 100% to pull through, and he can do the 100% the other way. But that depends on what he wants and what he needs. And if he is stuck in a habitual thinking, then, he feel like he's got to constantly correct himself, and he's self-conscious about things. And I feel like in a way he wants to control certain things. And you just have to stand back and begin to respect the process of what's going on. Give and love and be there. Sit there. Do what you need to do. Sometimes your energy alone can help support them to make them feel better, if that makes any sense. Now, Amy is collecting names so that if you want a reading, any of that stuff, then we can do that. Oh, thank you, Amber. Now, I have no idea if what's his name is still here. But that would be great if he gave me a comment. He may not be. He may not have I don't know. Everybody's different. Now, some people, when it comes to health issues, this is very important to understand. Okay. It's very important to understand about health issues. Soon I will be putting up the classes for it, but here's the thing. You are made of energy. You're made of electromagnetic energy. You are, the energy is either moving, stuck, or it's repeating something in if you can learn how to do source point healing, it'll take care of the the surface stuff, the things that happen. And then over time, you begin to do other types of healing that will combine with the source healing that will begin to take out all those old patterns. And the body begins to adjust and heal itself, because sometimes you need to go and add a few things. Exercise, believe it or not. A physio or something, because you got to get the toxins out of your muscles. When it comes to, how do you want to put it, other major healths. Now, before we get started, I saw someone else have Buffy. And we'll see if Buffy's still here. Buffy Hale. We'll go that route. Okay. So if you want a card, stay on. Like I just addressed somebody and they took off. That's the waste of my time. That's what I feel. Hi, Kathy. How you doing over there in YouTube land? And so far, nobody is in the Tarot Astrology Manifesting Group.
Let's see what happens. I'm wondering if that isn't that it's put on later, because I can't find it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, all I know is that I've watched people do certain videos and well, that's interesting. So much for that group. We're just going to jump over to Moon Glitter. We need to find other ones that work. I'll be right with you guys. Just give me a second. I'm doing other little tiny things at the moment.
Okay, I'm writing down names for cards, so.
Okay. Now, Kathy, you know that what is Chris feeling about me? Why do we ask those questions? Because we want to know. Why do we want to know? We want to know through our ego mindset so we can feel secure, safe. We can get rid of that stability. So there is a better or another underlining question, but I will answer that. When it comes to health, I know that, it's important for you to understand that when you're having health issues. Now, Kathy, I'm going to tell you something. If you keep going down that road, you're going to cause yourself a lot of grief. You're going to take the blame. You're going to go into that area, and it's going to affect your health. And what happens is that later on, you're going to feel like shit when the chemical peptides are trying to figure out where to go. You're going to cause yourself to maybe feel flat. Okay, just be aware. Like I said, I'll get to your question. Okay, Amy, is that person still available? I'm unable to see the screen.
Yes.
Okay. So Buffy Hale, when it comes to the healing or your health, now I use a pendulum or a card. It's just one of those things. You've rejected something out of your reality. And you've been thinking about it. That can't happen. I don't believe this. And if you have done that, let us know. Because what's happening is there's a part of you that is taking in or doing, criticizing yourself. And this habit that you have toward yourself is causing your gallbladder meridian to go off. Now, you can start having issues and pains into the area of here. You can have high beta where you're thinking way too much, and which then also stems into a stress of energy. You'll feel this heavy, lofty energy somewhere, usually in the body somewhere, but you can't seem to get past it. You can't seem to get past it, okay? And Kathy, I would say yeah to your answer. But anyway, we're concerned about your health issue, and I'm thinking, which is there an organ that she has to really worry about? They're saying that your spleen it feels like the energy is being deprived from it. And so look at how do you feel like you've been deprived in life, okay? And then I want you to take a look at how you do self-imposed limitations about you limit yourself from doing certain things and you hold yourself back. And what happens is that this is the second chakra and it causes you to have all kinds of energy that goes in different directions. So it will feel like something is happening. Now I'm asking if there's any really major health issue. No, but I feel like you want one. Don't take offense. Why would you want one? Because there's a part of you that has rejected something out of your reality. It's like, I'm not accepting that. And there's a part of you that wants to change, to do certain things, and you're not sure where that pivoting point is. So a health issue can arise out of whispering opportunity is for you to change your life, to reset, go in a different direction. But when you feel like you can't and you feel like you have these limitations, then you have to learn from a bitch slap, which means something major is going to have to smack you around in order for you to force yourself to look in a different direction. Okay? You don't want to do that. You don't want to just be a program. Does that make sense? So your body goes into defense and it's trying to fight back. It's very defensive. So whatever it hears, whatever it's doing, it gets defensive. And this affects the spleen. You literally need to go in and use some healing tools to change just that. You need to go in, and I have free healing tools that you can use. EFT, you can use your oh my God points, you balance your Wayne Cook energies so that you're not scrambled. Amy will put into that webpage the it says my address and about where to find the healing tools. There's a ton of them. Now what's interesting is, Kathy, you feel like crap. Yeah. And that has to do with the fact is that you have self-imposed limitations. Oh, I'm not going to call him. I'm not going to do this. But yet you did not limit your thinking because all you want is a particular outcome. And you're worrying. Should I take action? Should I not take action? And this is creating havoc with you got scrambled energies. Kathy, I would suggest doing Wayne Cook posture so that you can stop feeling as much like crap. The other thing I would do is you need to hold L1D because your heart is like, if that makes any sense. Now, who's on the list?
Okay. Did you do Buffy?
That's what I just did.
Okay.
Naomi. So with Naomi, they said that, what did she ask anything directly? Is it just she wanted a card?
Just a card.
They're saying love is strange. So there's a part of you that's questioning whether love is strange. Is that, it's interesting. Okay. It's the way you have to look at something, because I was going to pick up my pendulum. They said there's a key word here that's very important for you. What is this? There's some emotional energies. They say there's a massive emotional energies, and you have a chance for new romantic beginnings. This is you're very likely you'll attract, encounter, or simply bump into someone who reawakens the long lost feelings inside of you. Next.
Cassie.
Nothing in particular?
Nope.
All right, Cassie.
Cassie. S-E-Y.
What did I say? I thought I said Cassie. Cassie.
I thought you said, oh, whatever.
That's okay. Cassie. Says that you are resisting something. And then you're not. So you're doing a 50-50 thing. That's an interesting. Why are you doing that? What resist, persist. But you're not resisting. Okay. So you have an arrested development, meaning you're like, but I'm not resisting. I'm doing everything I can to heal my situation. And yet shit still is the same. Well, that's because you have met an arresting development, meaning it's like you've grown, but the top of the table's here and you haven't been able to grow. And you're like, what the hell is up there? But you can't understand how to get there. That's an arrested development. You learned and then you stopped. You haven't learned different tools to get to that top part. If I ask why, they say it's because it doesn't feel safe to do something. And you don't feel relevant, so you feel irrelevant. Those are the two emotions I would look at, address, and heal. That means use some EFT. Even though I feel irrelevant, I don't feel safe, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Now, hope therapy can be a little bit different, and that's what I do, because it can take you to a different pattern. It can take you to understanding, calming the mind down, and bringing in the tools instead of constantly thinking the same problem. Next. Violet.
She's in solutions. Can you read that, or is that on your phone?
I'm not in. Okay. So, anyways, Violet, please, can you have a card for my health? Violet. I'm looking to see if there's anything else she wrote. She did. I have a health issue, which I'm petrified. I've been back and forth since beginning of December, waiting on scans, but got a call to see my doctor in 6 hours. Oh, God. They need to take a lot of blood and to talk to me face to face. How do you see more here? Oh. Okay. Now, first of all, I'm going to have to get past your petrified scaredness. Normally, I'm going to tell you right now, just put your hand up here. Notice on the scale from 0 to 10. Oh my God, the doctor's got to talk to me face to face. Oh my God. Okay. Don't take your hand down. Keep it there. Now, as I'm looking, you're doing a lot of self-judgment, right and wrong. Oh my God, if I done this right, if I done this, so you're going. So you are disapproving something as you expand your energy. This is now taken back further. Your body is trying to say, well, as you're trying to expand from where you were, you are feeling that you took with you into the now is hopelessness. And now you're setting it off as you're thinking as an example of hopelessness. And they're said that there was something that in your past, they're saying, go back to when you were the age 2, that what you experienced, you took that feeling so far into the body. And they said that it's about awkwardness. Okay. I feel like now age 24, something in age 24, you had another awkward moment that spiraled into other things, as in rejection. These building up over time causes a body to act a certain way. Now, as I'm looking, is there any great concern? Well, I feel that they want to talk to you to get any questions out. I feel like they want to. Okay, I see a scenario of where your mind went into some doctor show. And all I watch your brain doing right now is predicting. Oh my God, it's just like that moment in the hospital. Oh my God, it's that moment just like I saw in that doctor. Oh my God. I'm watching it predict over and over. I need you to disrupt that. I need you to, if you want better health, I need you to disrupt that. Keep your hand there. I'm not kidding. There's so many other tools that would cause this to change quickly, but you're in very high beta right now. I mean, your mind is just all over the place. So it's like you're sitting on the train track at this point, and you're like, the train's coming, I gotta get off. We want you to get off that. I'm going to take you one step further. I want you to hold your right wrist, not left, your right. I want you to notice that you have a thumb and a pinky. We're going to go to the thumb. And I want you to go straight down where it bends. And I want you to understand that's first, second, and third. On the third finger, that's where you put your thumb, nice and soft. Put your finger in the palm. Wrap your hands around. And do this. And keep it there and think of the physical feeling, the fear. Okay? Very important. Very important that you calm that down, because you have too many variables above your head and you're so scared shitless right now that you're trying to decide that, okay, I'm preparing myself for the worst case scenario, but you're also preparing yourself thinking, oh my God, I've got what so-and-so had. We don't want you to do that. We want you to come back and recenter and then get your body back into alignment so that your body can choose healthier. That's what you've got to do, because you got too many things running on right now and you need to calm that down. Okay. Anything else? Our next one.
TP.
Who? Oh, TP.
Yeah, YouTube.
Your stability seems to be better. You don't seem to be doing so much impending doom. But you've noticed something that's come up that's unfair. It's noticing how you feel. That's unfair. But you're noticing how this is what they do. It's like they cry wolf. That's unfair. That's unfair. And you're like, but it's more than fair. But you've had to always sacrifice yourself because it's unfair for them. Well, you're done being a martyr. You're done doing all that. You don't need to do that. You've learned to be so indifferent that it's affected your physical health. Because as soon as you calm down, as soon as you do this, shit's back happening again, because they're going around. It's unfair, it's unfair. And so your body keeps going into a panic. What do you want her to do? They want you to hold R2D and notice that you have taken in what they said is your truth, which is bullshit. But some of the things they said rang true, but it's not. Not anymore. not anymore. You're changing. You're totally changing. So you need to do R2D, right wrist, second position. Nice and deep. Okay, push in deep. And you need to think about what I just said. Bring that down. Who's next?
Amy Chin.
Amy.
She's in the glitter.
Miss Amy. Let's take a look at a card real quick. Where did you lose your will? And what to? Now, how you lose your will is you've accepted, you believed, and you gave it your willpower. You gave your power away. If I said, where don't you have the will to do something? And they say the story evolves around panic. And if I said, okay, if we wanted that will back, what is it that she has to stop believing in? And they said, well, she's got to stop believing that she's failed. She's got to stop believing that, you know, the way you look at it, oh, that's failure. No, when all these things don't work, that's not failure. I wasn't supposed to know all these answers, and I won't know the answers unless I tune in and channel in and, oh, okay, that didn't work. Oh, there's the button. And I train and I learn myself the steps. I feel like my daughter was, she believed when she's a little tiny girl, she believed she had to know all her ABCs or 1, 2, 3s or school was not going to accept her. And so school accepted her. She thought, oh, they failed. They don't know how. And I'm like, where are you getting this negativity to think about yourself, young one? Because it didn't make any sense. I was always about positive thinking now. And then I looked around and I realized my whole environment is with around people that are negative. And so I had to help her change. So you don't have to believe you failed. You can heal that out. You can tap that out. You can change that. There's a whole bunch of healing tools. And Amy's going to put it in glitter, the link to that in glitter, so that you can look at these free healing tools that are there. Who's next, Amy? Connie. Anything specific?
No.
Okay. So, Catherine, stay on. Before we go to Connie, I'm just going to take care of this one. Catherine, are you still there? Catherine. Well, if she's still here, then I've got to address something. Spirit told me I have to address it. But anyways, Connie, Miss Connie. You've been vivid dreaming. There's something to the way that you're dreaming. So is this a sleep dreaming? Is this awake dreaming? So are you manifesting your dreams? Are you manifesting in such a way? There's something going on, because what I feel, you can't be yourself. You can't be the behavior you want. It's only what is accepted. It's like you have to live their way instead of your way, and you discourage yourself from going after your dreams, because you find that you automatically start doing what they want because that's the right thing to do. No, it's not the right thing to do. It's what you little self told yourself. But that needs to be changed. Hopefully that helps you understand that you don't need to obsess to do overcompensation so that you get that approval. Next. Nita? Anita with an A?
No, Nita. N-E-T-A.
N-E-T-A. Nita. Nope. Okay, we're going to take this deck. Okay, so Okay, so after Nita, Catherine's still here, so I'm going to finish that up real quick. Holy shit. Wow. Okay, so Nita, I want you to look. Are you hungry for something? But do you hold fear of trying to get it? Because they said that you have a hunger that's happening, but you have this great fear that stops you from doing this. And all I can say is that it's based on your yearning. Yearning is an emotion that's trapped. What is the outcome of yearning? That you never get it. You need to heal yearning so that you can break up with fear, and you don't have to hunger, but you can already start to take in all those little bits and pieces to feel satisfied. Heal the yearning. You have, what do you call it? We have healing tools that are a great importance. Now, some of you are like, well, how do I pay? If there's no link, that's fine. We'll take care of that real quick. And then there is going to be the link. If you're in Glitter, I've got the link. The other thing is the healing tools are... Okay, so here is the website for that as well. But what you got to do is on the left-hand side is to look at healing tools, and you'll see a big ass drop-down menu. Okay, that's what you're going to do there. Hopefully Amy has put that up already. Kathy. You have a particular thing called an engram. An engram is defined as everything equals everything when it comes to love. There is a procrastination energy that you attract into your world. This is their part. They have a procrastination energy. And it is that you have to live through them as you wait patiently for whatever it is you want. You have to live through them. The more attracted you are to somebody, the more you feel like you have to wait. This is due to you being a 1-year-old. And one of the things that the 1-year-old, I feel like you had fallen or something, or you were asleep when it happened, but you were programmed when your brain was at that certain theta or delta wave. And what it says was that there's a hatred of energy of ego people. I hate when people do that. God, I hate when they act like assholes. I hate when they got, they're in charge. And if you look at that, you're like, but I'll never use the word hate. But have you in the past ever done so? You're waking up from being ego to spirit. And in order to do so, you've got to know when you go into ego. And they said that you're into ego because you have learned at a very young age how to give up on expectations, okay? Giving up on yourself, giving up on what your dreams are when it comes to love. So you then, and what they're doing is they're saying that you're copying what you saw from your mom and your dad. So you're seeing something very, very, very specific through the filter of your 1-year-old about how relationships look. I want you to just sit back and look and try to remember what kind of relationships. Now, like, I have no clue what my relationships I had, but I can go back and look at it through the live meditation, which is, thank you, Spirit, for bringing it to me, the people that represent my past, that show me their programs of their behavior, their personality, that are constantly repeating themselves. Then you be able to see their programs, And then that gives you more information on how to heal it. Okay, Catherine? I want you to think that through before we get together to do a healing session. Okay? All right, Amy, next.
Valerie.
Valerie. Where is she on the fan page?
Yeah, I think so.
She didn't have anything specific?
No.
All right, Valerie. You have a panic energy that seems to be hanging about. It's funny because it's not yours, because you can't figure out why would I want to be panicked, but it's not yours. Valerie, you need to kick out everybody's energies. You are an empath, but you don't know how to really dive into what that really means. Because it's not about, oh, I have to have empathy and learn what the other person's learning, and I'm stuck feeling it. No, I need you to understand that you're beginning to become aware that there is a boundary between you and other humans, places, things, environments, and you don't realize that your immune system is listening. And it can take on those particular things. Your nervous system is listening, waiting to respond and do a reaction to repeat the process. Your brain is predicting. So as you begin to wake up as an empath is meant to be there for them by being a mirror. But also you've learned the wisdom of putting the shoe on the other foot. Doesn't mean you have to give up your life and live their life exactly the way they're doing it, because then that means you're going backwards. You can take the wisdom that this is their choice, and then you can let it go. Somebody else will have the same situation, but do it differently. You grab the wisdom. So what you need to do is Celtic weaves. You need to do connecting heaven and earth. You need to do a hookup. These healing tools are free, and they're on my website. Okay? They're there. They're on my website. And it's important for you to understand that you don't have to, you don't have to be in a situation that requires you to remain the old empath or the old way people think things as an empath should be. Okay? Patricia, we'll put you on the list. Unless you have something very specific you don't want people to know, or you want Amy to read it out, that's fine. Otherwise, at this point, this is communicating with other places and people to get me out there so they know that I'm there. Simple thing about a Celtic weave is that you're making a figure 8 with your elbows and your huge ass big 8s. And you're going to do them with breathing in and force. You're going to do it above yourself, at the neck, at the solar plexus, at the hips, at the knees, at the ankles, and underneath your feet. And you're like, but how do I do that underneath my feet? You bend over and you imagine. Intent. Connecting heaven and earth is another form of big 8s. Okay? I'm going quick, but you go through the process. When you're done, before you do the hookup, you really need to do Wayne Cook. Some of you don't understand that you can just sit there and put your hands like this, cross your ankles, and just sit there and breathe. This begins to unscramble you, even when stress is going on around you. And 5 counts in and 5 counts out. 5 counts in and 5 counts out. And you can learn to be able to help yourself. Your brain, it needs you. It doesn't need to keep predicting the same stories. It needs you. It needs new input. That's why I'm here, so you can have new input. When you're done, you switch hands, you switch ankles, you do it again for another 5 counts in and 5 counts out. Do several rounds. Sometimes I do up to 7 rounds. And then when you're all done, you unhook your ankles, you unhook your hands, you put your hands together like this. And you're breathing. And you stay there, and you'll, for a few minutes, few breaths, do the count of 10 breaths, maybe 7. And then when you're done, you'll start to feel better. Then you put your finger in your belly button and your forehead, push in, lift up, and you create a hookup. Literally hookup. Is there a lot more people on the list?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Is Danny even on that list?
Danny is on the list.
Okay. I want the people in the moon glitter first. Let's get them done.
Okay.
And then I want to go into anybody that's left. Like, I don't know if Casey's here. You know, there's only 3 people left in that room there. So I don't even know if anybody's there. And if you're not there, you didn't want to wait for a reading. Sorry. Give a holler out.
Moon glitter.
Huh?
If you're in moon glitter, please say I'm here.
Yep, if you're in moon glitter, say I'm here. Okay, and then we're going to go and then just do this real quick. If you are in the Medicine Woman page, then you need to, okay, so Melanie Long, I'll start you off real quick. Melanie Long. Oh. So
Okay.
do you have...
Wayne has been here longer than...
Who is?
Wayne.
Wayne. Where's Wayne?
Moon glitter.
Okay, all I see is Melanie and Xavier. No, Xara.
Yeah,
Obsidian.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Wayne. I see. So we're going that way. Zero, Obsidian, Wayne. Gotcha. Doing that one. What's the anxiety about? Zero, what's the anxiety about? Do you have anxiety? Are you even aware? My shoulders are tightening up extremely in the back there. It's going underneath where the impingement of my scapula and my pinched nerve, so the rotator cuff area. All of a sudden, I have this going straight across both sides. That's what I feel for zero. Zero, if you have, so just talk to me. Do you have anxiety, or are you around people that have it? Because you have a fair amount of guilt that you have to behave a certain way. This is the pressure sometimes you put on yourself. You carry overtime hopelessness that you're not sure about. You're like, and what do I mean by overtime hopelessness is that you're like, forget it. I know I won't win the lottery. Oh, yes, I have it. Okay. So overtime hopelessness is, it's like, why bother? And then you try and then you fail. But the understand that pattern is, they said that you're so used to being stifled by life, people. There's something about stifling and being deprived. And I can see pictures and stories, and these are like in tandem, and then they take turns. But this is what causes this particular guilt and anxiety. The guilt came afterwards. Anxiety comes in because that's always what you're going to see. That's how the brain always predicts. Remember, emotions are the end product of a past experience. What's happening continuously is you're going to have an issue. Why? Because I can't be myself. Heal that. Okay. How would you heal that? I mean, I could go deeper, but you feel like you have a debt to owe. I want you to heal how you feel like you have a debt to owe. You owe people. I think you've had people in your life, you're like, okay, like me and Amy communicated this morning, and she was not feeling well. But she hasn't. Oh, you may as well pay attention to this too, Amy, because this is for you too. Okay. There's an energy around her that other people have put into her field, and it's part of her reality. I feel the same for yours. And that is, well, I just took and gave you all my time, Amy. Shouldn't you be grateful? Okay. That may not be a good example. Hold on. Well, I hope you really understand how valuable you are, Amy, because I just did this, and this one. I had a billion other things to do. Does that seem familiar, Amy?
It sure does.
That's what you got to heal next, Amy. Okay. I could not figure that out this morning, and that's because we weren't supposed to until I met Zero. So for Amy, you need to hold L2S and then R1D. And for L2S is because you spin out, because that's the way you always got to be. And R1D is because you have to have remorse for asking for love, asking for help, asking for attention. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Okay, Zero. I want you to notice that it has to do with a limitation. I feel like, okay, so when people are around you, are they disgusted? Ah, that's it. Okay. Oh, God, here she comes again. Wait, is that disgust? I can't remember how disgust looks like. What the hell does disgust look like? Oh, I'm sure you have an example of how people do disgust. Anyways, that causes you then to stifle, feel guilty, stifle, do this whole pattern and have an anxiety because you're like, oh my God, I just want love. I just want to connect. I just want. So, but there's this whole shit that has to happen. And that's what I want you to heal out. What I gave her was hope therapy. And because we've been doing one-on-ones and, people do one-on-ones with me, but there's a part of you that's like, well, I'm not sure if I can move forward because you were taught to look for praise before you can actually move. And you don't understand it. You're like, but I'm a freaking adult. What the hell am I looking for praise for? Well, you're not the age you chronologically are. You are the age of when the experience happened. So they say that your 1-year-old self keeps kicking off when you're trying to succeed, to trying to get, through relationships or through business or through, it just keeps freaking kicking off. And they want you to heal that out. So there's a bunch of free healing tools. You look down below on that and you'll see where it says underneath, there's another link beside PayPal. There's another link. That's my website, the healing tools. Go in there. I need you to do EFT. Learn about that if you haven't. I need you to do, oh my God, point healing. And look at the rest. You could probably find a few. Cord switching would be a good one for you. Eye accessing would be another. Okay, next. And besides, Zero said, oh, yes, definitely. Okay, yes, I have it. Okay, so there was confirmation. And if you feel like you want to give hold on. If you feel like you want to give a reading or a recommendation, or that's the recommendation, go for it. That helps me out greatly. Go ahead. What'd you say?
Melanie Long.
Melanie. Miss Melanie. I feel lust is in the air. If so, tell me so. You're welcome, Zero. But that's interesting. But the lust makes you feel like shit. Melanie, I'm curious now, my dear, because it's like there's a self-consciousness of what's right and what's wrong. So you're just like, you got to go through, well, if I'm this, like, for instance, if I'm married, I can't do this. And if I am single, but yet I shouldn't be doing that. Do you understand? Okay. You need to heal how you feel it's right and wrong, because you're not allowing yourself to, I will tell you, you're waiting for a bitch slap before you move and do something very specific. I don't want you to have the bitch slap, my dear. If Spirit's trying to pull you into a certain direction to get out of whatever the circumstances, you're not meant to be there. Are you still at your house? Okay. So your soul is trying to find another way to change this whole path switch, this whole thing that you're in there. They're trying to get you to change that. So just beware, if you can't do it on your own, your soul has agreed, I'll give myself some shit and then I'll make it happen. Be aware of that. Who's next, Dame?
Okay, Jen Irving.
Jen what?
Jen Irving.
Irving. Jen Irving. Anything particular with Jen Irving?
Nope. Okay,
so we want to do a roll call out in the fan page. Medicine Woman fan page. I want to do a roll call. I want to see if who's all here and besides just taking the name.
Oh, I've got a list here.
They're still there and there because there's only 6 people in that room. There's, besides me and you. Okay. So, all right. So Jen Irving. You feel inefficient about something. And then it has to do something to do with the career. And somehow you're seeing jealousy. Like, for instance, let's say you're doing your job and everything else, and somebody is showing some amount of jealousy, and the jealousy is because you're not paying attention to them. Who's like feeling that particular way because something's happening there. Melanie says right on point. So Jen Irving, it is the word compulsion comes up. I mean, your compulsion to do something. I don't know if you're compulsory or is it just a compulsion? Because all of a sudden now my mind went blank. Because are you trying to think of the incident? Is that what you're doing? If any of this makes sense, it's great if you actually could tell me so we can have some type of feedback. That would be great. Okay.
Okay, LS.
LS? There's a whole bunch of words. What did LS say? Oh, I'd still like a reading, but I imagine there's still a bunch. Oh, no, you're next. Okay, so before. Okay. Hanging out listening. Oh, LS, you're next.
And then Jasmine. Then Amber, and then Danny.
Okay, so LS, one of the things I say, don't forget Patricia here.
Yes, I'm looking up her email.
What's disdain? All of a sudden my brain, it's like contempt. It's Laura. Okay, Laura, I feel you may not even be aware that you're thinking, do you have contempt of someone's behavior, an intolerance of somebody's behavior? You know, it kind of grinds you. It's like, if that's the thing, if you have this particular energy happening, understand that you are operating out of your ego than your spirit self. And the ego wants you to keep predicting this and keep seeing that you can, until you get to the point where you're sick of it. Yes, my twin flame. Okay. And you keep seeing it. You keep seeing it. You keep seeing it. And they're saying that it's very important because eventually you're going to create hopelessness. Let me explain. My mother had cancer. So it was a long-term illness versus sudden death, like my boyfriend. Over time, after 4 years of the same story, the scared, shocked part of me began to dissipate, to accept what was happening, to not like what was happening, but yet to understand and come to terms with what was happening. In my marriage that no longer is, over time, I gave it 20 years, and eventually it just wore on me. And I realized I'm done. It's time. It's just, you get to a certain state. But before I took off, I healed and I allowed myself to spiritually keep asking, is he supposed to be in my life right now? And they're saying no. And so I healed the things that bothered me, that I couldn't tolerate, the silent brooding, the constant resentment towards me. I just said, I'm done. And I healed out how I could feel it. I healed out why I attracted it. I healed out why it was important. Why would I attract him to resent me? It's because when I was a little girl, I felt helpless. When I came into this world, I felt helpless. For you, my dear, you, at a young age, you learned that you couldn't really trust people's words. Actions speak louder, but at the same time, it is what's broadcasting off of them that you can hear the most. And you're like, I'm supposed to trust that? Because this is my twin flame, I'm supposed to trust that? Me and my twin flame are together now. And I told him we can't be together until you heal your shit. I'm healing mine, you heal yours. I healed mine. I healed quite a bit of it. And then all I kept doing was like, heal your shit. I kept trying to send it out to him, heal your shit. We didn't talk. I said, heal your shit. I says, if you don't, we cannot come in alignment. Like the movie The Lake House, you just can't come in alignment. And then finally, he did it. I woke up one day. I'm in Michigan. He's in Australia. And I woke up and I said, my God, he fucking did it. He really did it. No way. He did it. And then I contacted him. And then all of a sudden, you have to fall apart until you're both in alignment. Next. Jasmine. What's her last name?
Wrong page.
Okay, anyway, you have a lot of scorn going on. Scorn. You're used to being scorned. You're used to having to scorn others. They're telling me to go a little bit further. And I'll do just that. What about the scorn? The scorn affects the body parts. And it affects your respiratory. So in a way, the scorning is stored. It's stored because what it is that you have to live their life their way. And if you don't, you get scorned. It's like having a narcissistic mother. And all of a sudden it's like, well, why'd you do that? And it's and that. And then all of a sudden you're just like, and it just affects. And they said that you're storing that it's a grief inside of you and that you need to tap that out, disrupt the signal. So when they do it, you don't have to take it in. Stop it at the door, create healthy boundaries. Who's next? Danny, call in. Danny's sick. We're going to teach you guys something here about healing.
And are you doing paids? What is one?
Yeah, is there any? Yeah, if anybody wants to do a paid, I will be glad to do a paid. You just have to let me know. So I have a Patricia's email. She sent it to me.
Okay.
One sec, Danny said. So Patricia says, please tell me about the love in my life. About the love that's in your life, the love is that...
She wants it read out loud.
She does or doesn't?
Does not.
Well, freaking just said it. That's okay. I would like to... Oh, there it is. There we go. Push that one. Hi, my dear. Can you see me? Can you hear me okay, Danny?
Let me see here if I can fix this because I am not able to hear you.
Oh.
This moment.
Okay.
I cannot hear her.
I can hear her. Do you hear?
Why not?
Can everybody else hear me in? So while I'm waiting for her, Stephanie Marie, the reason when you only see two is because I've got 3 other video places around. And Stephanie, I will give you a reading in just a moment or so. And it's not that you have, understand I've got 3 videos going. And Danny, you ready? Now, Danny,
Check if your mic is muted because I still can't hear you.
Well, that's it. All right, hang up and then call again. I'll try over here. All right, so hang up from there. And I will do that because she can't hear me. She'll have to call again. Got so many devices all of a sudden, it doesn't make any sense. This is the trouble. This is the trouble. Okay, so what you're seeing is how do you handle stress? How do you do what you need to do? What's this all about? And You don't have to handle it the old way, which is stress. Well, that's interesting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call her myself. Why do I want to call? Because I want you guys to understand one thing very simply. It is so important that you can change the way you do things. You can change the way that healing is in your life. Now, I'm hoping this doesn't screw up the other one. Can you hear me now?
Hello. Yes, I can.
Now the video
going on.
The video's not going to work because I have you on my big screen. But
okay, no worries.
Okay. Now the rest of you, what I want you to understand is Danny has what's going on, Danny? Tell me what. Can you go into another room where your kids are not?
Let me see if they will allow me to. For
Okay.
We're going to go to the bathroom.
Stephanie, no, I'm not doing a watch party. This is actually a live event done in YouTube, done in Moon Glitter, and done on my second fan page. So Stephanie Marie, to help you understand, your card happens to be about growth. You're not doing it in the aspect that you need to do it in. They said that you feel a little awkward about knowing what direction to go into, and there you feel this lofty energy. Because of those two, it's created a crossroads. I'm going to tell you to do a Wayne Cook posture. You can look down below, or you can look wherever, and it shows Medicine Woman #4, the letter U.weebly.com. Look under Healing Tools, look under Wayne Cook, because we got to get that energy unscrambled in your head because you're being pulled. I want you to sit back, and once you balance yourself, thank you, Spirit, and put your hand and do the oh my God point. Put your hand on your forehead, and I want you just to think, and just keep there, because you can't. I'm at the crossroad. And put that on a scale from 0 to 10. It'll come down to 0. And then you say, thank you, Spirit. And then you're going to start imagining you get onto a flying carpet, and you're just going to be guided to look at what is important for Stephanie and what does Stephanie need. And then you'll be guided to take that. Wayne Cook, yes. Amy, you may have to go into Moon Glitter and there you go. See, it shows Medicine Woman Solution. Click on that, and you'll see Healing Tools, and you'll see where it says Wayne Cook posture at the end of the thing. All right. Now, when it comes to Danny, you there, sweetheart?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell everybody what's happening and why tell them what's going on with you physically.
Well, I started getting a UTI like 3 days ago, and I tried to avoid it, but I had to go to the doctor today because it's just getting worse. But now I'm nauseated and my head is spinning, and I just kind of want to curl in a fetal position.
Okay, so first of all, your body is trying to tell you that you've had emotional reactions to life, and it's catching up to you because these emotions haven't calmed down. They're continuously keep going. And to the point is that it's just now your body's saying you need a freaking break from all the stress that you continuously keep repeating. And I'm looking at it going, okay, so what can we do? And you're saying, well, it's an auto response to the, what does it say? There's something that you can't trust. Well, how can you trust spirit through with your heart if your heart's closed off, and your heart's closed off because your first, second, and third chakra says, who's got time to feel love? I got to fucking survive here. I've got to figure out this. I got to figure out this. And what's happening is then the energy then is getting trapped in the body because it's continuously being boiled and made, and it's not coming out of you. Okay. It's not clearing out, if that makes any sense. So what happens is that you're trying everything you can to make sense of your world, and you just want to go indifferent because it's driving you apeshit. So what we're going to do You feel like everything you do is very irrelevant. I can't do this. I just can't. Fine. What I want you to do, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start to get your, we're going to get your, how on the scale from 0 to 10, how much pain do you have in your head?
I'd say it's gone down, so probably like an 8. I've had worse.
Okay, so the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to have to use your little fingers or your little, can you see this at all? I'm not even sure where the camera is. Oh, you can't see it. Huh. How are we going to do this? She can't see it because the camera's not working. On the tops of your feet, what I want you to do is notice you have a big toe and you have a middle toe.
Yeah.
I want you to slide right where them come together, and I want you to slide up an inch. And you'll feel 2 bones come together, and you'll feel a little hollow point. Do both sides of those feet, rub right there. Give it a good 30 seconds or 30 times. Count to yourself as I do so. I'm going to jump over to Patricia. She's waiting. And when you're done with that, I'll be right back with you. Patricia, my dear. Patricia, what's happening with you? They're saying there's a part of you that you feel like you're being disapproved of by someone that's close to you. And it's like, so they're actually like they're taking action to persuade you to do what it is they want and thinks best for you. Okay? And they seem moreover concerned about your life because they don't want to look at theirs right now. That's why you're the target. And you feel like you'd have to take care of this because it feels like a karmic debt. But basically, it is false pride. It is just, I have to do this with them. Just say no, stand back, and understand that their energy is coming at you in such a way that you're like, Jesus, it's like you have no choice but to be run over. But that's not true. Notice that they want attention differently. Try something different. Show up differently. See what happens. And then if they can't, say, you know what? I'm using a healing tool. Let's try this together. And if they do, they may end up running for the hills instead of trying to do the way they're doing it. Now, Miss Danny, have you done both feet?
Yes, ma'am. I had you muted.
Oh, sorry. Now, you're going to be doing another point. This is on your hand. You know where your thumb is, and you know where your first finger is. Okay? And when you take and you follow both your first finger and your thumb all the way down on the back of your hand, you're going to feel 2 bones come together, and you're going to rub right in that in there, and you're going to rub. Okay? So just follow those 2 together. See, and the point is that she can't see this, so we're trusting that she can take instructions differently and I can deliver them differently, okay? So as she begins to rub both of those hands on both sides, and let her do that. So I saw somebody else on the list. Who is it?
Okay, Lenny has paid.
Okay, Lenny, as soon as I'm done with Danny, I saw somebody else in that room, a couple people.
Brittany.
Well, where's Elaine? Okay, I saw Elaine. I saw somebody else besides, before she came in, there's a Chrissy Brooks and a Karen Franks that keeps asking.
Okay, I've got Lenny, Stephanie, Tilly, Karen Franks, Chrissy, and Brittany.
Mommy!
Okay, all right. So, were you able to rub those, Danny?
Yep.
What is your number? Is it still an 8? Is it still an 8?
No, it's gone down a bit. Things are starting to come back into focus instead of spinning around. So I'd say probably around a 6.
Okay, well, we want you down further. And they're saying that, now, do you know where the karate chop point is on the side of your hand?
Yes.
Okay, so understand you're going to follow the pinky. And there's two points between the where the karate chop point is. I need you to go up to that upper knuckle, and then I need you to go down to the lower part of the bone of the wrist. And so I need you to rub those 2 points on the side of the hand on both sides. So do that for me. Do 30 times. So what we're going to take is who's been waiting the longest, Amy, in that room that might be still here? I don't know.
Karen Franks.
Karen Franks. Anything in particular she said? All right. Miss Karen. She's got panic energy around her too. So you're learning not to let fear get to you, but it's not the fear as much as it's about how you talk about the fear. It's about how the news puts it out, says, look over here and think this way. It's about how you are to romanticize the fear. And then what happens is the brain goes into high beta. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And you just can't stop thinking about it. And they're saying they want you to put your hand on your forehead. And when these little things come up, you need to calm down by putting your hand on your forehead so the blood can come back up instead of you going into fight, flight, freeze. You're going to need to learn to breathe your air in, let it all out, and then hold your breath. And then try to do it at the count of 4, then let it out, and then do that again. Take a deep breath, let it all out, hold your breath, and do another count of 4. And you need to switch that so that you go into parasympathetic. Danny, you need to do the exact same thing as what I just said. So again, taking a deep breath, let in all the air, and to hold your breath and do it on a count of 4. Do that a couple rounds of that, and then come back to me. Who's the next one? That's a quick read.
Chrissy.
Chrissy. Wow. There's an alarm going off. Your triple warmer's going off. And what's the story of those two? The stomach meridian and the circulation sacs. And they said that, where are you going? There's some jealousy or longing. I feel like 2. One could be a longing, and then you see a jealousy. These energies one of them is yours and one of them is not yours, and you have to learn to separate them because you're getting confused about how you're supposed to live and to think. Not very healthy at this point. Okay, Danny, how are you doing?
Doing good.
And is your headache still high?
No, it's gotten way down. It's probably say, numerically, about a 3 already.
Okay. And they're saying that there's a part of you that needs to look with your right eye, and you tell me on a scale from 0 to 10 that I just can't do this. You understand what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what number is that in that eye, in the right eye? Just look through just the right eye, not the left, just oh my God, I can't do this. Scale from 0 to 10?
Right, it's about an 8.
3, 2, 1, switch eyes. Look to the left. Look at the same question. I can't do this. What number is that one?
I'd say, I think it might just be a 10.
Okay, when you look at that, notice how it's inside. We're going to pull it out, pull it out, pull it out. Switch eyes. Look over to the right. Ask that same question again. What number is it now?
I think it's about a 6.
All right, so as you look, you can notice there's a little awkward. I really don't know how to fucking do all this. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. Switch eyes. Look to the other side and tell me again what that is and the number.
It's around a 5.
Good. You're hearing the numbers coming down.
Right.
Notice the numbers are coming down. Notice how everybody wants attention with that eye, and it is just going in. Pull it out, pull it out, pull it out. Notice that you're like, okay, everybody wants attention. How strong it is. Pull it out, pull it out. Switch eyes. Tell me the other eye. And same question. Go right back to the beginning. What's the number now?
Hi, Mommy. I think we're around a 4.
All right. Keep doing that back and forth, pulling it out, looking and switching, giving it the number, acknowledging it, letting it all go, and then come back to me when you feel like both are 0. Then, who's next?
Brisney.
Brisney. Okay, if you haven't, go over to my fan page, like the fan page, Medicine with Solution or Brenda Medicine Woman. Faith.
Christy asked, how do you learn to self-love? Also, what helps the sacral chakra?
Faith does. You need to have faith. Okay, first of all, if you're operating out of the lower 3 chakras, which we normally are, you have instability and you have insecurity, and insecure and safety is not there. As though are not there, it's because you are so into ego, you don't know how to have faith with your heart. You need to begin to have faith with your heart. When you begin to have faith with your heart, that's when your brain starts to switch. You have to know when you're in ego versus spirit. If you're in ego, you're not going to get where you want to go. But if you can flip the switch, go over to the other side, you can begin. You can begin to have faith. Notice that you have faith in hell, but I need you to have faith in love. Self-love has to do with the fact is that you have to stop doing the RTJP. The right temporal lung junction parietal lobe is to think what other people think. Stop it. Because you're like, well, if I try this and do this and this, and then I try solve this and this and this. No, stop. Go in, have faith. What is it I first love? Oh, do you want white chocolate or dark chocolate? Don't look out there and say, which one does everybody agree with? I fucking like dark chocolate. Screw the white chocolate. Oh, but oh my God, you don't like white chocolates? What's wrong with you? No, pull back. You are not supposed to do that. Stop. Self-love is about you. It's not about them. It's not about fitting in which crowd, getting approval. Step back, go back. Who am I? What does my soul want? What do I love? What I like? Wow, what looks good best on me? If you want to wear fruity cootie colors, fucking do so. Why? Because you're discovering you for you at this time. It's not anybody else's business why you will decide that you wanted to wear underwear on your head that day just because you want to make yourself freaking laugh and see how many people will laugh with you. It's none of your business, what they think, because they are not you. Self-love is about finding what I love, what I want to do, what makes me laugh, what puts joy in my heart. Oh my God, let me pick this book up. I really love spirituality. Woohoo! Do it. Find out who is you. Don't just watch a TV show because everybody says that that's the best thing to watch. And you're like, but I really don't like it. I'm trying to like it. No, why? Your heart says, oh, that's funny as hell. Ha! I'd rather watch this. Now, it has to do with homework, has to do with a job. Find a different job. Study something different. But you need to begin to find love, which is yourself. When you begin to find out what you love and what you don't love, you're going to be able to make faster decisions because you're not going to waste your time over here. You don't have to look and say, oh, what is it they accept? What is it they love? No, you popped into this body, not theirs. You popped into your world and you need to create your world and you don't need them to do it for you. Next. Oh, no, hold on. Danny, how you doing?
Getting there. It's changed into anger and fear. So
good. Notice that the
awesome.
number probably went up and you're going to just start removing this. Now, what you're going to do now, my dear, is you're going to hold L2D, put that on the scale from 0 to 10 with anger and fear, and think about that. And you're going to stay there and notice the number's high and then get back to me. Okay?
Will do.
Who?
Oh, I just told Lillian she was on the list.
Okay, who's next then?
Okay, do you want to do Lenny or do you want to wait till you're done with Danny?
I want to wait until I'm done with Danny.
Okay, then Eileen.
Eileen. Anything specific about Eileen?
General.
All right. Now, they put a joke in my head. I lean to the left. I lean to the right. So is your life a joke? Does somebody make a joke about it? Are you a butt of a joke? Something to do with the joke. Now, sometimes laughing is fine. But here's the problem, though. If laughter is important, that's great. But you need to be laughing because you think it's funny, but not out of your expense. Now, they too say you need faith. And it's the faith. And I'm saying, okay, faith is that people can put faith in their fear, but you got to figure out where you placed your faith. They said they really want you to be very particular because you obsess about something and you run with it and you put your faith in that. And you say, this is how I want the outcome. This is how I know how the outcome is going to go. And you put your faith in that. You understand energy flows where attention goes. And if you don't want that to happen, tell your brain, stop predicting that. How do you tell your brain to stop predicting that? You can do healing tools. Give it new information. Give it something that it doesn't know. Because right now, it just knows how to be discouraged. And it has so much faith in being discouraged that it goes and says, see, I see it there. I see it there. I see it there. I see it there. Okay? So I'm using several decks. One of the decks happens to be called the Moon Oracle, the Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. Okay, that's the moon one. Then I've got other decks that I'm using, not as often. Next.
Carry Down or Dawn? Carry Dawn.
Carry Dawn. No. Carry Dawn, you got something to do with the cosmic future here. So the cosmic deck of initiation. The cosmic deck of initiation has to do with universal truth. Okay, the universal truth. So let's find out what specifically they're referring to here. And you think I could see it. You have found a new level of truth within yourself. So spend some time to allow to touch into all aspects of your life. The truth rises to meet you, to be open to it. Be truthful with yourself. Be truthful with yourself opens more than you know. In this case, having that truth is understanding this is my truth, and so everybody else has to have the same truth. No. It's a truth with spirit about situations. And you're going to start developing a relationship because you're developing the knowing within here. And you can't develop that unless you continuously go just a little bit further down the road. Begin to notice that that's their truth, that's right over here, and that's wrong, that's right, and that's all their truth. And the truth is between you and spirit about how creating a new world. Next.
Cindy K.
Cindy K. There's a habit you keep doing. It has to do with being obsessing about something. And it's about being paid attention to. There's a part of you that gets very upset if you're not paid attention to. It's like you can be talking and you know it's a waste of breath. And you're like, seriously? It's not that you're demanding and paying attention to like a little child would, but you're like, when you are talking, why can't you pay attention? And this is something that you see continuously over and over and over. And they say that why that happens as a child, 4 years old, you suppressed that your voice mattered. And what you believed and what you thought you disapproved of because some adult disapproved of. Now that you're an adult, this is how it looks in your everyday life. I would go heal that pattern from the past. You can do so. I mean, EFT it out, use hope therapy. I mean, you got a bunch of healing tools that you can work with. Danny, how you doing?
Still working on anger. Fear is just about gone.
Okay. So let me know when you're done. Okay, Amy next.
Okay, Linda, she's in New Glitter, and she wants to know if Mark is the one for her, and they're chatting online.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is we're going to look at, because there are steps when it comes to having a love life. The shit that you guys bring to the table, the emotional baggage, are you both willing to unfold? If you're coming together as trauma buddies, then it's never going to last anyway. But because one of you is going to grow, or you both can stunt yourself. For you want to know, is he worth putting the time and effort into? And they're saying forgiving and learning. You need to forgive something and learn something about this communication process. So is it that, you give more attention than he does? Do you care more than he does? Or do you have to go out of your way than he does? It's you have to look at those little things. And then they said that the attraction. don't just be attracted by the sexual aspect, but really learn that if he's talking, if he's listening, what is he doing, the attraction. I feel like you need to have more of a brain stimulation that's going to create an attraction. And so talk about subjects you like. And if he doesn't like the subject you like, well, guess what? He's not the one. And they said that you have a tendency to jump in the relationship and like them more than they like you in the beginning. And that can throw things off. Just be open to the idea that I'm going to find out what works and doesn't work. And you have to make sure you feel like it's safe for you to love. Because if you don't feel like it's safe for you to love, then you're already going to have roadblocks that's going to stop you from moving forward. Next.
Lillian.
All right, Lillian. Lenny, we're almost there. Lillian. Ooh, what did you get defensive about, Lillian? Somebody around you keeps getting defensive. They keep getting defensive. Who keeps getting defensive by things that you say or do? And you're beginning to notice that, it's like, understand this is their pattern. This is who they are. And that's not a surprise. But it's starting to get to you physically and you're like, oh, well, fuck, I don't want that to affect me physically. It's affecting your life. So you need to take and do R2S and not be oversympathetic to their plight. They're a pattern, they're a program, and they keep repeating because this is how they get attention. This is how they deal with life. This is how they operate to get what they get in the outcome. They're just a program. This is just their automatic response. You don't need to respond to them anymore that way. You need to heal that so that you can show up differently. Next.
Solace. She's on your fan page.
Okay.
She wants to know if she's pregnant, and she keeps dreaming of having great powers, and people come to me to worship her.
All right, that's several things for a free card. First of all, wow, your body hasn't decided if it wants to be pregnant. I know that sounds so strange. Your head says it wants to be, but the body says, I'm not sure. I'm looking to see if the sperm and the egg have mated. The energy is in session of saying yes. And I say, well, it would develop into a fetus. Yes. Now here's the weird part is that energy is created, but I don't see it forming energetically in the uterus at this point. What does this mean? I don't know. I just know that you have to come into alignment. Now, when I ask, what does that dream have to do with it? And they said that it's about learning that people will tell you what they want to hear to get your attention. People will give you what you need to get that certain approval from you. Hold your power. Hold the power. And as you begin to hold your power, which means I want you to feel not empty, but I want you to feel like you got your power. I want you to feel like if you want this baby, I want you to just say, thank you, and let it grow. You need to take your power back from people. You're not allowing yourself to hold the power because you need them to feed you to keep power. And that's not the way that when you step into this arena, you need to stand in the power. That is what I'm hearing, because I just keep seeing this energy loss that's not able to support you physically. You're not feeding off people. I'm not saying that. But in order to feel a certain way, certain people have to show up a certain way. And I feel like that's what they do to you. I don't know who it is, but you want authentic people around you. Next. Trina.
She says, I need help with starseed stuff and ancient wisdom implanted.
You're going to go and you're going to get a glyph. A glyph is, what's the name of that book I had sent you the name of? And I want you to, okay.
Oh, that one. Hang on.
Anyways, there's a name, glyphs are very important, and you take this glyph, and they have an ancestral one, and you take the glyph and you cut it out and you paste it onto you, and there's an affirmation. It's very powerful. I've had many people use it, and I have been told, and so now I'm going to get this book and I'm going to use it too, because it's very powerful. Old information of how things used to work is so important because it's coming to the surface. All the shit's coming to the surface, but old abilities, old stuff is coming to the surface to really help you move into the direction you need. And sometimes recalling all that stuff is very important. So as soon as she gets that up, then I want you to get the book or you can look on, I hate to say this, but I think YouTube, the guy put all of them on there. And if you can get it and see which one is ancestral, you can be amazed at how to use it. Now, I don't think they put the affirmations up, but the name of the book is Unlocking the Power of the Glyphs. But that's what I would do. And then so that the energetically of the old medicine can begin to really help you with this pulling it out. All right. And Danny, how are you doing?
All good here.
Okay. So how's the headache?
The headache is good. The headache's gone. But now I feel lighter, and so now my head is very confused.
All right, so you definitely have to do a Wayne Cook. You have to do a Wayne Cook to balance it out. The UTI won't. I mean, you're getting that taken care of, and that energy of that looks like it has pretty much started to fizzle completely out. Keep yourself Wayne Cook balanced. You're going to have to, I'm sorry, because you have kids and you have everybody wanting your attention. You're going to have to do some figure eights in your head. You're going to have to do some Celtic weaves. You're going to have to do connecting heaven and earth, because right now everybody's feeding off of you. And you need to put energy cords out so they don't have to come and get it. It's like the energy cords are like, these are my tits. Here, suck on these ones. It sounds gross, but these energy cords are out there so that it gives you space when you're around people. It helps to buffer your aura so that you don't have to feel drained. Okay.
Awesome.
But do those, because right now you need to get your energies back to heal and be there for your wonderful children and to do all of the things you have to do. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, dear, for calling in and doing this.
You.
Now I'm glad that you feel better. See, this is why you need me or want me. All right. Love you. Yes. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay. So how many more reads before we get to Lenny? I mean, Lenny's next.
But more on the list.
There is quite a few more.
Just two.
All right, Lenny, let me do these two real quick, and then Lenny will be on. And then if she wants to call, I'll call her. So find out if Lenny wants me to call her. And who's next?
Kelly.
Oh, yes, Kelly with an I.
Kelly with
Jesus, energy is moving everywhere. Where are we going? Why? You know who Kelly is. Her frequency. What about her frequency? People get to you. People manipulate you. It's like they know how to manipulate you. And when that happens, you don't realize it, but then there's like a mind control issue. And I'm going to ask, is this a mind control of... No. Okay. Nope. In this case, it's okay. It's just the fact that you have low self-esteem and that you're easily maneuvered into doing what you need to do. You need to really allow yourself not to be there, but you do it because it's a false self-assuredness. Well, I better do it this way. Notice the behavior of the thought and your patterns. Correct yourself and say, I don't need to show up this way. Use some EFT, tap it out, do what you need to do. Amy, next. Monica. Stability. What about stability? You have an active memory of 2 years old, and it was unstable. The environment was unstable. So then you developed a reaction. The reaction was self-imposed limitations, always stopping yourself, and you morph into what they want, and then feel like you're being taken for granted. And then all of a sudden you feel petrified because you don't feel like yourself, because you're not operating as yourself. Everybody else just dictated how you're supposed to feel. You've got to catch when you do this and you feel attacked. When you begin to feel this and you know this is happening, say, oh, here we go again. I can feel this happening. And then if you rewatch us and write these words down, you go, even though I feel like, oh, and then name off each of the thing in the row, do the full EFT, pull it out of the eyes. Look at my website and you can see the full EFT. All right. Did you want me to call her?
Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have another caller. And we'll go this route.
Hi, beautiful.
Hello. Okay, so my video don't work, but you can hear me okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I'm going to keep talking. Say, you know, Mary had a little lamb.
Maybe had a little.
Okay, gotcha. Got you. All right. Just wanted to make sure I had your volume. Okay, so what can I help you with? And we're doing a, let's see, ready? Go. What do you want me to help you with, dear?
I have found a lady that does past life regression healing, and I'm meant to see this woman. Also, too, I spoke to Stephanie that did that thing for me. Has that gone?
Okay, first of all, the past life would work wonders. Definitely, yeah, it would help break that connection. You may have to ask them if they can go in a certain specific direction. And that thing that it's still there. The situation is still there. The interesting about it, again, I feel like it's a body swap. I mean, mind control thing, but it's not really a full-on body swap. It looks like it's a hoodoo thing. Not a voodoo, but a hoodoo thing.
Right.
This is an oscillation of time and space. Now, what I'm also seeing is this: is when are you getting are you doing the past life regression?
No, I'm going to Lucky Adelaide, Kidman Park, and she does like time life therapy, but not time life therapy. It's ancestral, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. Give me a second to figure this out, because I'm trying to ask the future to put it into play. And the oscillating energies, would God a firework? No, it's not what's there. It's okay. I'm so close. I am. I'm close. So it's something that needs to be removed. A belief, a habit, a fear. Okay, so now what I'm looking at is that you can feel this lofty energy, and I'm looking at your space in your house now, and I can see the vulnerability.
Yeah.
Now I'm beginning to notice that if I go through that particular time, oh God, there it is. I don't know if we should say it online, but I'm looking at a program with it. Okay. I'm asking that a formula being created to be putting into that timeline right now. Okay, so have you ever watched the show where they go, the power of Christ compels you, and they start to fling that shit all over it? That's what I'm seeing happening. Oh. Whoa. Okay, how can you tell that you had it? That's what we're going to get. How can you tell that you had it?
I've got brain cancer, which I've never had before. I've still got that pain from the spleen.
Okay.
That's how I know that's my stage.
All right. How is your thinking process when it comes to communicating with others? Do you feel there's still that there's Lenny that lives in her up here and is happy, and then there's that other part that wants to talk negative to get that negative feed?
Yeah, that's still remains.
Still in there. Okay. No, that I'm not telling her that. So you're not, oh, now that thing's talking to me. No, shut up. So I'm looking at it. You have a built-in auto response that it's hooked into, and that's how it hooks into. And if I ask where's that built in, it goes into the governing meridian in the spleen. The governing meridian happens to be, the fact is that people act mean, so you act mean, so it gets you to act mean. The spleen aspect of it is that you're supposed to panic, and then you're supposed to go into feeling what? Feeling what? Why don't we have that word? Feeling, Okay, so inside the brain, where the nucleus accumbens is, which is right behind the eyes, has to do with feeling disapproved of.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have an idea like, hi, I want Brenda to do such and such, and then all of a sudden I can't because you don't understand, or whatever reason, you feel that's a disapproval. You feel disapproved of because you didn't get that attention, or no, it's not the word. You didn't get that approval. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. That's how it got in.
Okay.
Here's the problem. We're looking at a hidden heart wall from a past life, not yours, but it's a connection to the bloodline, ancestral. Did you make a glyph last night?
Yes.
Good. Now I want you to understand we're hooking into the matrix of this ancestral line. And you're going to take and put your hand or your roller. You got your magnet, sweetheart?
Yeah.
Oh! Talk about being in a trance. Okay, so now what we're going to do real quick, we're going to do this 10 times. I want you to write it down because this one is liquid. I don't know how to explain it. It reminds me of liquid metal. Before we begin, I want you to write down Nucleus accumbens. That's Nucleus. And accumbens is ACCUMBAN.
Yep.
Or close enough. Then you're going to say matrix.
Yep.
And then you're going to say disapproved.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this, you're going to have to allow yourself to drift right now into the ancestral timeline until you find it. And then, yeah, that's it. And then you're going to drift over and you're going to see another cord that goes into the matrix of this woman that lives in the house. Not the live fleshy one, but the non-fleshy one.
Yeah.
And then you're going to take your roller and then you're going to say the nucleus accumbens, matrix, disapproved. And I want you to do that slow, intentional 10 times. Okay?
Yeah.
And I want you to do it. Like I'm going to finish this up because I'm doing it on a grid, on a higher grid. So it's a nucleus accumbens, a matrix, disapproved. Nucleus, oh, there. She didn't like that. I'm going to keep continuously. Notice if there's anything strange that happens into your house. Disapproved. Now my hands are shaking. Nucleus accumbens, matrix, disapproved. Nucleus accumbens, matrix, disapproved. Nucleus accumbens, matrix, disapproved. Then I'm going to call your spirit back into your body. Call your spirit back into your body 100% where it belongs. All right. What you're going to do is you're going to pay attention to what's happening around. Do that a couple times because, like I said, it's like liquid. But if you keep doing it enough, then it has to dry up and then turn into dust. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
All right. Let's see if we can do that one. All right. Thank you. Keep me in contact when you're done. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, dear.
Thanks.
Next one is Pilly. Is that what it is?
Billy,
Ah, Pilly. Oh, your mom keeps trying to make hearts. She's doing this. She's trying to. I wish you could feel what I'm feeling. She's trying to. Look, my hands are better. I feel so much better. I didn't realize how much I had to free myself out of this body. She says, it's amazing how you think it's so freaking scary that you don't want to die. It's all good. But at the same time, she's beginning to do life review and all of this other things, but she's looking and she can feel you. And she says, you've got this. Just because you feel like your safety net's gone, you've got this. You've always been my safety net. Of me that I can feel. Feels greatly honored that you were there. You have a tendency wanting to go, well, I should have done more. Or it's a shame of the. But honey, if you could look at what you've done in the last few months, connecting with this, getting new information, changing the way you can, you did. You did what you were supposed to do. It didn't fail. It helped me become stronger. See, and I'm better for it because now when I come back or when I'm going to do the next part, I can be in the new frequency, just not as your mother. But I can be and always will be with you when you into this new frequency. You have a whole new life that's unfolding in front of you. I'm going to do everything I can to guide you. I have to do some work first. I got to take care of a few things, but I'm just a thought away. And don't be surprised if I show up younger because, you know. And when you cry in the pillow, that's your head on my chest. She says, take a blanket, roll it up, pull it around your arms. This is as if they were my arms. Some kind of smell. Did you have a certain smell? She says, I want you to use like sage. I know that sounds funny. She says, but I need you to use sage because we want to help you clean out some of this negativity while you're in that state. Pilly, I hope you were hearing this. This is for you. I hope you put a timestamp on it, Amy. I don't know how long I've been doing it, but I know it's, right now it's 1:39, but it's there. Okay. She's turned to me. She's turned to me and she's kissed my forehead, not mine, but yours. She's showing me that she's kissed the forehead and she's trying to kiss the third eye better for you. Not just in terms of endearment, but that third eye healing as well. Anybody else? Robin. No? Really? As I said, I was talking to Spirit. All I could hear from her was, don't just do what resonates with you. That's funny. Okay, that means I just go a little deeper. A little deeper. Right now is not the time to engage into doing things. You don't want to engage into doing things. So you need to just sit back and watch the options that are coming up because you have to learn to separate yourself from other people's stuff. They said, You're not allowing yourself, when you do certain adventures, to have the honeymoon experience. You don't allow yourself to have that bliss with what you do, whether it's with a person, to have that bliss, whether it's a project, that bliss. But they're telling you to step back, reset, and figure out in a different direction that you need to go. Aim, next.
Leanna.
Leanna? Why do I feel like I'm in a box? I don't really feel like there's no way out. Is this a no? So there's a habit. I want to feel suspicious. I want to feel paranoid. I want to feel. I'm in a freaking box. There's a certain amount of anguish that you have to allow yourself to be put through. This is part of your strategy. They say this is how you know you exist. You have a particular strategy of knowing this is how you exist. But you're kind of getting tired of it because you created this when you were 2. And then there was something that happened at 6, and you're saying the energy changed. And at 17, you develop a reaction to that thing you did when you were younger. Now it's just a habit. There's nothing that's really keeping you there. So I would suggest that you download new information, a new emotion, and deliberately see what you're made of and step outside that box and take and realize that there is not floating in water, but it is a nice solid surface and that you can take and just begin. You're so ready to do this new adventure. Next.
Jennifer.
Jennifer. Is her last name?
Scudero.
Like in Ecuador. Lucinda. What? I don't know. Jennifer. Why can't you stop and smell the roses? It's like you can't smell. You see them, but you can't connect. There's like this separation energy that ends up happening. It's like I just took a long inhale and still nothing. You feel that you're... what am I doing? I feel like I'm freaking drifting. What is that? Do you drift sometimes and start thinking? Because I just drifted over there. It says, a shame that you have to be a part of this. This looks like somebody else's thought that implanted it in your head. These thoughts over here, they're not even yours. These are people that have told you shit, and they don't deserve to be in your head. These people don't deserve to be in your head. You got all these things that don't deserve to be in your head. But yet you think that's you. That's not you. These people are not you. Kick them out of your head. You can do thought management healing tool that's on my page, and I highly suggest you do it. That's free. So I would do that. Next.
Let's see. Monica Fernandez.
Monica Fernandez. What the fuck was that? I feel bullying energy. On the outside of you, I feel bully energy. And it's distressing. World, family, environment, home, particular outcome. You just draw people that want particular outcomes for you. No. Yes. And particular outcomes from them. No, they're trying to convince you that this is best for you. Okay, you may have to step back because you can't take your own advice. Now, let me explain what this is about. So the king told the prince, oh, don't you get yourself off the floor. If you fall, that's what your servants are for. So the little child, ever since it was little, it fell over. The servants picked it up. Servants picked it up. So now it's 18, and he fell, and no one's around. And he's hollering and nothing. And he did not learn the ability to pick himself back up. So he started to waste away because he did not believe that he could. He did not know that he could. You are going to start an adventure where your ideas are yours. And you're going to find out if, and every time you get one that people call failing, no, you're bumped up. Well, that don't work for me. That don't work for me. And then all of a sudden you're going to ting, ting, and you're like, oh. And then it'll be the things that work for you, but it's not what they predicted or told you. You got to discover you. Next.
Me.
Well, you did a big ass healing this morning. You're still energetically in that arena. And as I told you during the show, you have to heal that feeling. And I think that feeling is about feeling attacked. So you have those points that you have to still work on today. And you have to notice how it comes at you, where it's coming from, and what direction it is. You feel like you don't have any friends that live close to home. So that's why you're constantly reaching out, listening to psychics, listening to other things. And they said, Cornelia, your brother said, it's not your fault. It's not your fault that you act this way. It's not your fault. When I ask, what do you mean? It's not her fault that she acted that way. He says, you did this towards yourself based on how you were scorned by father. Great man had a habit. Some personality trait, but you took it in as your fault. And that's what you learned that relationships are, and that's how you're supposed to be, is someone gruff and rough and mean to be at you. Get rid of the habit. It's not you. It's not your new life. So be it. All right. Anybody else? We're all good. Do a sound off. If there's anybody that wants one, you say, tell us now. And then, huh?
Tam, Toro.
All right. Tam. So, Tam, Toro. Was there anything specific that they asked? Cam, Toro. Okay. All right. So I'm picking up the cards from the other side for some reason for Cam, and it is somebody that you're not connected with that you know of. But although you may not understand it now, everything happens for a reason. And as you begin to do that, it gets confusing because you ask the question. But at the same time, you have to remember that life is a series of choices. They want you to start to choose self-love. Get that self-esteem up. Get that self-esteem up. Jennifer Escudero, is my baby okay in heaven? I want you to think of your baby just for a moment. Now, what's interesting is this baby's going to grow with you. This is our space, and we travel through time. There it is time that travels through space. And so at different points when you ask for a reading from her. I think it's a her. Is it a her? It says I can feel a strong female. She's going to grow with you. And the idea is heal the heart. When you begin to heal the heart of pain, then you're going to enjoy the happy memories. Remember me, the happy memories. You're going to have those happy memories. She says, but right now the happy memories make you cry because all you can think of is loss. And she's pointing to me. She wants me to tell you, I can't do that. She wants me to tell you that if you begin to use a healing tool, just as simple as the oh my God, just place in your hand, make sure you touch here, the hairline, and these 2 points. Fall asleep like that. Keep your hand there and build up to slowly helping you understand that the pain will get down to 0 so that you can begin to hear her like I will. You don't have to get, she says, be careful. I don't want her to get obsessed and then all of a sudden she forgets that life exists out here. You know, it's okay that you celebrate my birthday if you want to, but I don't want you dwelling in pain and creating that, because I was meant to leave. You are meant to stay. She says, and you will see me again over and over. You wait. And she just waved. Okay, so you're going to have to decide how you want that pain to process out. Now, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but if you're romanticizing it, meaning constantly thinking about it, it's going to get obsessed. That you're constantly focusing on it, you're going to get obsessed. If you're going to keep going and going and going and going, it's just going to make things worse. And then you're going to cut off the connection even further. Is a lodge where you can't hear her, or maybe some other people can't hear her. Okay? If you can't heal the pain out, or you're not ready to, because the type of healing I do doesn't mean that that part of them is done forever. No. I use hope therapy and other things that help you get all of the things that blocks the pain and stuff out, so you can open up your heart and use your psychic abilities to connect. And then you can feel better again. Sarah Erickson. Wow. I mean, how many cards are here? I shuffle it and I keep getting the same card. So the message for today is, people, you don't have a lot of faith. They're saying they need you to get faith in the health, in the light, in the love, in the soul, in the spirit. You got to put your faith in love, not fear. Because why would you put faith in fear? You trust it, you know it, it's there. But take that off and put it into the unknown, where all the healthy answers are. You got to throw back that shit you chose, or that shit that's in your face, and break up with that. Break up with fear. Go marry faith. Take faith to love, faith to hope. Not hoping, because that's fear. But find the light. That is where you need to head. Anybody else?
I don't see anybody else. Trina, she's trying to understand what was implanted into her DNA last time she was pregnant.
Okay. I don't know if you got that information from who, or where, or what, or when. What is that storyline? I don't know what that storyline is. I can tell you that when it comes to what's in our ancient memories, it's all there. But you can be influenced by ancient memories and ancestral things. Ancient wisdom is this wisdom. It's like when you take DMT, or you open up your pineal gland and the Kundalini awakes, and then you quickly forget. But before you forget, you actually get to begin to remember why you went down the road of hell. And that's usually to find out and appreciate what love is. Like, you don't even know how good light bulb is until you get an electricity and you have to sit in the dark. You don't know how good warmth is until you're freezing your ass off. part of, I lost a twin in June, but it was a time when I was implanted. Now you're talking about actually an implanted seed. Are you talking about alien interruption? Are you talking about, because if you're talking about wisdom, which is different. Now, you know this for a fact, yes? This stuff is a little bit, when you look at the idea of what the soul is like, what, you know, you had twins. We just assume as humans that both are supposed to live. It's not always true. When I look at this twin, there is a story. But the one that survived, you're never alone. An interesting thing that I can see is that if we're going to do it this time around, we're going to make sure one has more strength to do it. I feel like these two have traveled before and have done this before, where both of them don't feel like they can make it in and learn what they need to, so one will do it. The one that passed is a guide for the mother. It was decided it was best that if I stand on the outside and you were alive to do this one on the outside. So you have one that's on the spirit world and one that's in the physical realm. I feel like they're both there intentionally to guide you. I shuffle and I get, again, I have become one of your guides. I feel like I have to. It's like I have to become one of your guides. It's something that the soul had made a choice that on the human scale will never make sense. How can you, there's more than one. No, I shuffled again and I got the same freaking card again. I have become one of your guides. I cannot make it clear enough that that's what that soul chose. I would rather be a guide and then have to live into this physical body. You do that one, I'll do this one. All right, I'm not picking that up again. I know I'm just going to draw the same card. Why? Why do you need the guide? Why do you need that? Because we got to get your willpower back. You got to stop accepting and believing all that hell. You need willpower. We're here to help you boost your willpower. So you're meant to wake up, grow, and to be in a new space. God bless those souls. Miss Decker. Ooh, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Did you go see that? Are you watching it? Won't you be? Or did you watch an interview with Tom Hanks? Because that's kind of cool. Oh my God. Sorry. As I'm listening to, I had not even understood this. Moano. Okay, Trina. What is the story of, you said mahalo and it triggered something inside of me. So I'm assuming you're Hawaiian, Trina?
Yes.
Tap into your history. You are meant to wake up. You've got great things to do. Ho'oponopono is yes and no for you? Oh, that storyline is my life. Okay. But you have got to wake up. Your time is to wake up. Your time is to wake up. These babies are meant to help you, not just be an earthly mother. You are more than that. It's coming to the surface. Tap into it. It's part of the bloodline. Holy shit, my ancestry stuff just kicked off. Yours is too. I'm sorry I didn't hear it until you said mahalo. Oh my God, Trina. Oh, Jesus, mother of great goosebumps. Goosebumps. I can't even talk. So go down and heal and yes. Okay. Yes. She says my Hawaiian grandma guides me. It's not just that. I have every hair in my leg that I have not shaved. I found them. They're standing up. Oh my God. This is such an interesting confirmation. Even my nipples are hard. I'm so sorry to say that. I cannot make this stop. They're saying, get it through your head. It's your turn. And it's not anything to be fear of. Your soul, your Kundalini is ready to rise. It's your calling, my dear. Oh, the shit bricks. Oh God, I don't need Tourette's. Oh, my great-great-grandma, who I never met, is my spirit guide. She is passing her legacy on to me. Yes, 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 yes. On to you. Fuck me, look. Well, I thank you for sharing that. Apparently, you're meant to share your imprint with me too. So, thank you very much. Thank you for blessing me. Oh, those are shit bricks. Okay, God damn it, no. Do not need an episode. What that is, Trina, is that sometimes your nerves just don't know what to think about it, and you have to wait for it to come back online. And you see, this is where you have to train parts of your brain to go into alpha as you try to not go into high beta. Reset. She is passing the conch shell to me. Yes. Yes. Look at my yes. Okay. There's a song that wants to come through. No, I don't do those. Yes, you're supposed to be the light. Every step you take is a light print to help the new grid to come in. Sister, I'm over here, you over there. We connect, we can make it. We need to light this grid up. Got it? Oh, I could just go into chanting. I can feel the drums in my head. Holy mother of cows. Ugh. Okay. Oh, look at all the freaking twos. That's a lot of twos. Okay, kids. I'm just trying to adjust all the way down to my tip of my toenails. I think they just grew an inch. Good God. How can you have a hot flash and a cold flash at the same time? Yeah, Kundalini.
I'm right there with you.
Oh, she is. Oh, yeah. Trina says she's very peaceful, loving energy. You're feeling very filling for the heart. So, yeah. Uh-huh. Trina, I think, will be talking again soon, too. She always steps forward when anyone connects with me. Yeah. I got a nice download at the same time. Now I want chocolate. I got to ground myself. Betty, we're going to get to you. Holy shit, bricks. Oh.
I'm even feeling all of that, Brenda.
Why? Because I zamped it out. Somebody had to take it. Thanks, Aim. Okay. Trina, you have a lot of knowledge. It's time to step up and take it. That wisdom is all you will know, because it's not something you have to think, contemplate anything about. It's like the knowing inside of me when I woke up, and it's like, how do you know this stuff? Well, you just allow and have faith and trust, and it grows and it just goes. And then you're going to get all the proof that you need, because things are just going to say, here's a book. Here's somebody says, oh, yeah, I had this experience. And you're like, oh. And then that builds that confidence. It builds that self-esteem. I'm sitting in the Hawaiian water right now. Oh, that feels good. You would know it. No, it's over 100 in this room. That's nice. I think I just built some brown fat so that I can handle the heat. And yeah, all right, I'll take the brown fat over other fat any day. That's good shit. Yeah, I feel very lucky. Betty, are you still there? She said she saw a picture of Tom Hanks. So, yes, thank you, Trina. Yeah, as soon as she said mahalo. You think Paley was here? Good God. Oh, there's Betty. Okay. Hey, Betty, you got something to look forward to. You in the family line here. Look at me. I'm red here and still white there. Okay, that's funny as hell. Your mom was afraid to read mahalo. Linda, Betty, just give me a second. Linda, the reason why I can't just say he's the one is because you don't know who in the hell you are. As you begin to find out who you are, you're going to then sculpt you, and that's going to draw if he is the one in or out. You're at the stage of finding out, ooh, I like this. But you know what? It's not that you're being picky and pushing people away. Okay? I can't give you yes and no. Spirit. She wants a yes or no. Is he the one? Is he the one? There's something better. There you go. If we're going to force the hand of fate, there you go. But if you sculpt yourself, discover yourself while you're talking to this one, learn to be assertive. Take those dang lessons and learn. Be and show who you are. If they falter, get the fuck out. They're not yours. Okay? Either you force it, you're going to end up having a lesson out of it, or you let it unfold. Betty, Betty, Betty. Again, there goes Won't You Be My Neighbor. All right, what does he have to say? Oh, there's a lot of hope on the horizon. And it's like, for the first time, I'm overwhelmed, but I'm not overwhelmed. That's amazing good shit. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. But at the same time, you're feeling those insecurities begin to dissolve away. And the karma, you think, oh, I have to pay this debt. No, I really don't. And you're going to start standing in a different position as a spiritual leader within wherever you are, with your family or friends or group or wherever. And that wisdom is going to be coming into you, and people are going to start looking at you differently. Instead of you solving and doing, you're going to say, have you done this today? You're going to start helping them learn how to get off the floor and picking themselves up. And you're going to learn and talk differently. It's a very calming effect. Oh, look what Trina just did. She goes, mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. Okay. So I just feel this great new you emerging out of all of this, Betty. It's just a beautiful feeling. Miss Urbane, Kathy Urbane. You're beginning to understand, wait a minute, there is a difference in my mindset between the ego and the spirit. It's not that I have to be religious. No. Spirit mindset is learning to be non-judgmental, learning to observe and letting people learn what they need to learn. And when you have discernment and you know about all of that's happening, understand this is their world. And if you start to see patterns, you can spiritually investigate and learn to listen and grow with the whisper of your soul. And you get to learn words that are different. Instead of having to go through hell, you see it differently. It's a very beautiful thing. And You don't have to be looking outside yourself, other people. All of a sudden, you know that you can just sit there and you can look. What would spirit think? And you connect with that heart, and all of a sudden, you can feel this love. You're like, but I don't have to take defensive. I don't have to be defensive. And you start watching people's patterns, and you're like, oh, that's a program. It's not that you're pointing fingers and saying, oh, God. You're like, I don't want to be that. I don't need to be that. You had an epiphany somewhere. Monica Fernandez, how do you move beyond a broken heart? Without tools, over 2 years. Without tools, you can drive yourself crazy. If you have a deep heart where it's broken soul, like when my boyfriend died, that just left a mark, imprint. It took me 2 years. I woke up 2 years later and I'm in accounting courses. What the F am I doing in math? You have to find that identity, because without realizing it, you just lost all your whole world. Everything changes. Now, how do you get out of it? I've had many people die since then. I have gone through different things, but you have to heal the shock. You have to heal the thing that you reject out of your reality is that it happened. You have to heal those emotions. And I'm not talking about just healing. I'm talking about using tools. There's a bunch of free healing tools on my website. You can use EFT, even though I'm lost, even though it hurts. And you do several rounds, do it a couple times a day, getting that nervous system to just not keep going into hell, and your brain not to predict that it's going to be this. Healing tools, putting your hand on your forehead and falling asleep while you're thinking and feeling all this pain, watching it on the scale from 0 to 10, going, to going down to 0. And you're like, shit, that worked. Convincing yourself, understanding it, that once you heal the pain, things get better. You've got tools. Good job, Betty. She says, I'm really stepping back and saying, okay, what am I going to learn from that to make not to make the same choices? Good job. She's also mentoring. I am learning, talking, seeing, and growing. Yeah, I'm seeing the habits for what they are, and they are taking steps back to heal that shit out. Oh, Betty, after my own heart on that. Yes, grow. But you don't need that kind of stuff. It's amazing how all of a sudden it just starts to, especially when you know, I don't really have to think that way. Really? I can break that tradition and I'm not going to die and they won't die either? Huh. Figured that one out. So anyway. All right. Is anybody else out there? Are we good? Because I realized. Karen Frank? Anything specific about that?
Nope. Just hard.
All right. Let's not. Okay. I'm going to shuffle these cards and well, yeah, you probably are different. What are you? I already had you today. Something about the realization of life. What do you need to realize to wake up from? What do you need to realize so that you can no longer be incompetent, be competent? What do you need to bring from your subconscious mind? What do you need? And that is taking my attention. What's taking your attention? I used to be so good that because I had kids, the moment my kids would come in the room, I chose to honor them every time. And then I had to learn to teach them how to wait for mama. And, instead of going into, okay, yeah, just a minute, or just a minute. No. Because even if you're busy over here trying to cut some time out for yourself, which is what I did when I was younger, people are still going to feed on you, do this and that. And what I learned is I had to heal the intolerance, heal that I had to do it all, heal that this was on my shoulders. I was trying to find an identity so I can have an outlet. And what's important is that you have to take control of those emotions, because your body is just tripping you up saying, this is what we're feeling today. The body says, this is what we're doing today. And you can say, no, body, I don't have to feel like I got to do it all today. And you literally can go in and just disrupt that program. Does that make sense? Yes.
Oh, I see.
And so the thing is that when it comes to your relationship, you can have so much more out of life if you don't feel like you have to run away from it and want it at the same time. You need to heal those feelings so that you can have joy. Okay, we're all good. You guys are great. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming. Thank you for asking. And thank you for being. Do your best to have a great life and enjoy every moment. Resolve to evolve, heal instead of deal, and you know you can heal that shit. What do I always like to say, Amy? Stay blessed.